Notts County Talk, back with another match preview. This one is for the FA Trophy. It's against Morpeth Town at 3 p.m. on Saturday. It's a chance, I think, for some of the players that are sort of on the fringe of being in the starting 11 to get some game time, get some minutes into the legs, maybe even a couple of the injured players that need some minutes into the legs, a bit of game time, get them back up to scratch and really get some game time into them. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it should be a pretty straightforward win for us, but we can't go into it with that mentality. We have to keep winning. I know there's going to be a lot of people thinking we shouldn't really be focusing on this. We should be focusing on the league. As much as I do agree with that statement, we're a winning team. We want to win. So why can't we win this and win the league? We have to have that positive mentality, because we've seen what happens when we lose a game, and it's not good. We need to keep that positivity around the club. We need to just keep winning and winning and winning, and deal with the issues as they arise, such as injuries and stuff. But I'll pass over to Tom now to do statistics and players to watch.
Going on to Morpeth and the stats. So it feels really nice to have a bit of a break. It's been so intense with just the constant league action. So it's nice to have a bit of a break in a different competition, give some players that might not have had the minutes that they've wanted this season the opportunity to play. And it's just nice for the fans as well, because it's constant pressure. And I'm sure I'm not the only fan here that will say I'm not too fussed about the trophy this season. I wasn't last season. It ended up being a real rollercoaster ride that dragged on to pre-season this season. But in all, if we did go out, well, I'm not that fussed, because over anything I want promotion back to the Football League. So looking at the two sides then, and a massive thank you to actually Morpeth Town and their media manager Ross Jackson. So he's given us a lot of info on the team, and that's something we've never had. It's usually opposition fans, but for the media manager to actually help us out, it's fantastic. So a bit of background: they've had a lot of stoppages, just like Notts. They've only played 9 league games this season. Yes, they've had the cup as well. It evens out about the same amount of fixtures as Notts, but they've had a lot of stoppages, both themselves having a 14-day isolation, and opposition being forced into isolation and resulting in missed fixtures as well. Now, saying all this, they are sitting currently in 16th place in the league, but they've played less games than a few of the other teams, and actually a lot of their games, just due to how it's fallen, have been away from home, which are obviously trickier in football teams in general. They've had a pretty solid start. Their fans are fairly happy given what's happened, and just to struggle to get consistency. We know what it's like to get consistency with Notts, who are one of the stronger teams in the division, and no consistency absolutely kills you. So when they start to get that consistency, hopefully in the new year, they are very much hoping and expecting to be pushing up the league. So they sit in 16th in the Northern Premier League, and a couple of the teams you may recognise in that, right down near the bottom is Grantham, and up near the top Baseford. So that gives you an idea of the level of opponent. Now, if you've been down to any Baseford games, I know quite a lot of Notts fans. I've seen a few Notts fans down there as well that I recognise. Actually went a few weeks ago with George just before the next lockdown came in. The standard's good. The standard's good. It's good to watch. Real combative players in that division, but also what you may not expect. There's some very skillful players in that as well. So not a team to be taken lightly, especially in a cup tie in such strange circumstances. Literally anything can happen. So they sit in 16th. They have scored 9, conceded 10. So fairly hard to break down, but scoring an average of goal a game, it's not fantastic. But there's a lot of teams in this division that have been not scoring freely and have managed to get one past Notts. So that's something we'll have to watch out for. Their run to this stage, they beat Whitby 3-1 in the first round they played. Then they beat Runcorn on penalties, and then obviously got the bye against Blythe Spartans, which a lot of people were hoping that Blythe would win. So it's like sort of a Cal Roberts derby. That's how they made it this far. Notts, 1 defeat in 7 in all competitions. Obviously, we're not playing anything else. FA Trophy semi-final last year against Harrogate, which I am fairly sure, even though the final has not been played, that Notts would have won the trophy, because at that point we were steamrolling teams, and Harrogate, obviously, when we played them, were a League 2 side, which I'm still not best pleased about. We were absolutely turned over and battered. Fair play to them, they were better on the day, but at the time they were not a League 2 side, and I feel like we really would have done damage against them. So I've also been given players to watch, and I've added one of my own in, so I've actually got 4 this week. The first is Dan Lowson, the goalkeeper. Now, I'm told he's one of the best keepers in the division. He's, with all respect, going to have to be when it comes to Saturday's game, because even on the bench, not to have some fantastic strikers. Jimmy Knowles could really hurt them. Eli Sam. So he's going to have to be in real good form. And next, I hope I don't get the name wrong, Jack Falwell. Now, he's a man in form in an attacking sense, and he can hurt defenders. Now, we've seen a real partnership struck up with Rawlinson and Turner. That's not going to be the case. They're not going to be together. I'm 99.9% sure of that. So, you're going to have people on their guard when we play against them, because this is a massive game for them. I've seen some of their fans on Twitter say, apart from the Vase final, which they got to in 2016, this is the biggest game for them. So their players are going to be bang up for it. 2 more. Liam Henderson. Now, he's got 4 goals and 3 assists. He is an absolute journeyman. Tried to break through in the Championship of Watford. He's since been at Hartlepool, Gateshead, Colchester, Aldershot, Rotherham, York, Spennymoor, Gainsborough. Absolute all over the place. Never found his form. Maybe he's starting to find it this season now. Bit of consistency as well. He could improve even further. And the final player, you will not be surprised to know, I've chosen Liam Noble. A former Notts player, 2 spells at the club. First spell, some would say, was pretty good. Second spell was pretty poor. Known for having that temper, and he did kind of lose that in the second spell, if I remember rightly, which may have resulted in a dip. Now, I'm not afraid to say I didn't like him over either spells. I didn't see what a lot of fans saw in him. I didn't think it was fantastic, but he's certainly going to be a player to watch.
Team news now. I think Cal Roberts is going to be back in for this one. It feels to me like the perfect game to bring him back into, whether he comes on as a sub or whether he starts and comes off at half time. Just to get that game time back into him. Like I was saying at the start, get some of the injured lads back up to scratch with game time. But yeah, I'm gonna go on now to mine and Tom's lineup. We're gonna stick to the shape that we always play to, because I think it's good to sort of keep similar tactics, or if you can, the same tactics, and just build up our play. Work on it in a real competitive game, because it worked very well against Stockport. So in goal, I'm going for Pilling. I think it's fair to give him some time. I think Slocum, I don't think he could do with a game off, but it's not going to do him any harm if he does have a game off. It's not as much importance to the league. So I think, and he is a great keeper. We saw it in pre-season where he did like a double save. So it'd be nice to see him, get a start. Right back, Kelly Evans. I think he wants to play all the time, doesn't he? And he's got that buzz about him. I think rest Brindley for this one, because it's going to be the testing period then over Christmas, where we've got games after game after game. But yeah, centre backs. Now this is bearing in mind that they are back from injury. We've gone for Graham and Turner. Now the reason we've gone Graham and Turner is Graham, he needs minutes now. He's not played for a long time. Obviously he's had a little bit of an injury. And Turner, if anyone watched his interview after the Stockport game, you'll know what I'm saying here. It was really, really good. It's a man that loves the game. It's a man that loves playing for the shirt. And, he openly said he's never been the best player on the pitch, but he's the most determined. So I think keep him in there, keep him with that run of games and just keep him on top, because going into the next league game, you want him to have that sharpness. So that's my 2 centre-backs. And left-back, gone for Chickson. Give him some minutes as well. Could even be McCrory, if he's been back in training and he's ready to back up scratch. Either Chickson or McCrory we'd be happy with, just to see them have that sharpness about them if we need to make that substitution, because obviously Kelly Evans and Brindley have been tirelessly playing. They'll be ready for the call-up. So, yeah, McCrory or Chickson left back. Now, sitting in front of the back 4, Doyle and Reeves. I don't think you can change that part of the midfield. Personally, I just don't think you can. Doyle doesn't want to miss a game. I'm sure Reeves is of the same thoughts. So, yeah. So, your defensive mids, Reeves and Doyle. In front of those, so got obviously 4-2-3-1. Gone for Wolf. Gone for Eli Sam. Gone for Ruben Rodriguez. Now, Wolf apparently is a fantastic player. We've said it before. Love to see him get the start. Eli Sam, I think it's a game for him to just get a goal, get an assist, get a bit of confidence going, and maybe, you know, get back into the team and just get a good run of form going, really. And Rodriguez, again, to get a few goals, because he's been itching to get a goal. You can see it in him. He had a good shot against Stockport. He's very creative. I think if he gets that assist or goal, it'll do him the world of good. You know, just the additional goal and assist, you know, he's a fantastic player. And up top, I think Jimmy Knowles, when he's come on, he's made that difference. You know, he came on for a short period of time in one of the games. I can't remember who it was against now, but he scored late on. And he's got goals in him, you know. Why not try him against, you know, obviously a bit of a lesser team in the FA Trophy, not got masses to lose. Just give him a go. You know, he is a good player. And I do feel like Wotton could do with a bit of a rest. He's been tirelessly working. And, you know, his job is so hard. You know, he's leaning into defenders. Defenders are leaning into him. It ties the body down. It's just natural. So I think he could do with a rest. In saying that, if Wes Thomas is sort of on the cusp of coming back, it'd be good to see him, because before he got his injury, you know, he really was, he was on fire. Probably the best we've seen him. So that is our lineup. A little bit different. So score prediction for me now, I think we have to do the professional thing and just go at them with 100% and just get the win. I'm going 4-0 Notts. I'll get slated by a few fans, I think, for saying that, but I'm going for it. 4-0 Notts. After the win against Stockport in the week, confidence is sky high, so why not?
Prediction for this then, it's going to be such a different game. Really want to see Knowles. Really want to see Chickson excel in the game. Desperate to see Matty Wolf. Hopefully he can be in the squad. I don't think it'll be easy. I know when we play these teams, I said it when we played Belper right at the start of last season. I said we'll concede. I think we will, because it's a massive game for Morpeth. I mean, if they don't go for it, they can be 3-4 down. If they can then get a goal against us, it's big for them. So I think it'll end up being pretty comfortable, and I think they will get a goal, but I think by that time we'll be 3-0 up. So I'm going to go for a 3-1. I think Jimmy Knowles will get a couple. I think he's cutting it in the National League when we play in that competition, so I think he'll do really well. And you know, I've been calling for him for so long. If he plays Matty Wolf, I think he's going to get one as well. He's supposed to be, from what I've heard from Barnsley friends, a Championship standard midfielder, or he was just breaking into Championship, so I'm so excited to see what he can do. Really interesting. Good luck to Morpeth. Big game for you. You know, let's hope it's a really good occasion. Notts will obviously want to win, but as fans, we're not too fussed. We just want to see some of our players put in a really good performance. If you are a Morpeth fan watching this, straight after the game, we put up an instant reaction and a player ratings where we talk about the club and the opposition. So tune into that.